go, Vikes! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Vikings Spin. I'm your host, Jason, and we're going to preview the Vikings-Rams game here coming up on Sunday. Yours truly will be there. I am really fired up about that. I've got some great seats down around the 10-yard line on the Vikings sideline, 7th row, so I am really fired up for this. Now to the game, the Vikings come in here at 7-2, first place in the NFC North, and the Rams also come in at 7-2, and they're in first place atop the NFC West. So definitely some playoff implications in this one. The Vikings come in currently at the number 2 seed. The way they look at the tiebreaker procedures, and the Rams are currently at the number 4 seed. If the playoffs started today. So take a look at some of the team rankings coming in here to compare the Vikings and Rams offensively. In terms of yardage, the Vikings ranked 9th overall. The Rams are ranked 3rd overall in yards offensively. In offensive points per game, the Vikings come in ranked 10th. The Rams come in offensively ranked number 1 in points per game. Passing offense, the Vikings come in number 12. The Rams come in at number 6. Rushing offense, the Vikings come in at number 10, and the Rams come in at number 5 overall. The defensive side of the ball, the Vikings come in overall yardage. Defense comes in number 5 in the NFL. The Rams are at number 14. The passing defense, the Vikings come in 12th. The Rams come in number 9. Rushing defense, this is where the biggest gap is here. The Vikings come in number 3rd overall against the run. The Rams are 24th against the run. So the Vikings have a marked advantage there. And defensive points per game, the Vikings coming in ranked number 7. The Rams ranked number 3. So they've been able to limit scoring by getting turnovers and playing the sort of bend but don't break type of defense. And for the injury reports in this game, the Vikings have starting right tackle Mike Remmers out, and starting strong safety Andrew Sendejo out. So that means that Rashad Hill will get his 2nd consecutive start at right tackle. Played well last week, didn't give up any sacks. And then Anthony Harris, who's had to fill in for Sendejo a couple times before, will fill in again at strong safety. I expect to see some Terrence Newman back there as well as they mix things up. Questionable for the Vikings, Brian Robinson and Everson Griffin. Those guys, I know Griffin said that he is going to play this week. He expected to play, so actually I would say that I expect to see both of those guys playing in the lineup this week, which will be a big help, a really big boost getting Everson Griffin back. The Rams have their running back number 2, Malcolm Brown, out. They also have questionable cornerback. They have Hill, which is a reserve corner, special teams player, and tight end 3, Derek Carrier, is questionable as well. He was limited all week. Playing banged up, so to speak. These guys are going to play, but they did appear on the injury report, and some of these guys had missed practice or were limited in practice this week. Connor Barwin with a knee injury, their outside linebacker. Their other outside linebacker, Robert Quinn, illness. Starting guard, Roger Saffold, ankle. Backup linebacker, Longacre, back. Joyner, the starting free safety, he's got a hip. So they're playing a little bit banged up, and then they had some guys this week that didn't practice, non-injury related, but they did not practice. So it's worth noting John Sullivan, the former Viking, who is the starting center for the Rams, left tackle Whitworth, and inside linebacker Mark Barron. So that's what you have going on there. As far as the matchups go, The Vikings offense versus the Rams defense. Some of the keys, we've got Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, and of course Jarius Wright, Michael Floyd, and Laquan Treadwell, all sharing time as the 3 or 4. But Diggs and Thielen really is going to get big on the outside against Tremaine Johnson and Kayvon Webster. The Vikings can really take advantage of their size here. Also, the nickel corner for the Rams is nickel Roby Coleman. Roby Coleman is 5'8". Webster is 5'11". So I think when you see, Thielen going in the slot, he's 6'2" against a 5'8" Roby Coleman. That is a big mismatch. Diggs has got a little bit on Webster, and then Tremaine Johnson's their tallest corner. But when the Vikings can put Floyd in there or Treadwell, they can match or exceed that size. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Rams defend the Vikings, because the Vikings can definitely use some height advantages there, which is interesting. The same thing goes for the Rams linebackers. The inside linebackers, Ogletree and Barron, are both 6'2". And of course, we've got Kyle Rudolph at 6'6", Latavius Murray out of the backfield 6'3". So it's just worth noting here. I'm seeing that that this is kind of sticking out to me a little bit. The Vikings O-line against the defensive line of the Rams. The Rams do have a good defensive line. Aaron Donald is one of the best in the business there. He plays the defensive end in the 3-4 for them. They've got Brockers in the middle. And it's going to be a chess match here between Pat Shurmur and Wade Phillips. Case Keenum is very familiar with Wade Phillips and vice versa for the time in Houston. I think Jerick McKinnon and Latavius Murray against I think that the Vikings can really going and they're going to do like a sense of the outside linebacker edge. They can find some favorable matchups if they can get the lineman or belt line out in space. Give Jet McKinnon and Latavius Murray out there on some screens that could do real well, I would say. The Vikings defensively versus the Rams offense. So you want to contain this explosive offense. The Rams line up here at wide receiver. They've got Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods out of the slot sometimes, and or Cooper Kupp. They've also got Tavon Austin, who is a fourth receiver and also sort of comes in, the little running back, can come into certain formations as a 3, and runs some jet sweeps, fakes jet sweeps, catches up the backfield, so he's kind of a Swiss Army knife kind of guy. This Rams offense is a lot like the Redskins offense because of the relationships there that head coach Sean McVay has had, the background of the Redskins system. And, I think having Everson Griffin back is going to make a big impact. You saw, Thompson get out in space when Stephen Weatherly, wasn't running with him last week. I think that's something that Griffin's seen a number of times, that you're going to have the veteran player back there, not going to get fooled on that as much. And of course, the pass rush that Griffin brings, that's something that was missing a bit last week. You could tell there's definitely a difference in the way the Vikings pass rush was last week versus the way it's been for most of the season. Luckily the Vikings were able to win the shootout. But I think the defense, with Griffin back in the lineup, played better this week. I'm sure that they'll rotate him and Daniil Hunter to try to go up against Havenstein. Whitworth definitely locks down that left side pretty well. So don't be surprised to see the Vikings move Everson Griffin around from the left and right side to give the Rams some different looks, get some different matchups going there. Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes, against Watkins and Woods. They've got Cup and Austin. We've got Newman, Brock, Alexander. You know, I think we have the cornerbacks to match up with these guys. It's a really good receiving core, but we have a really good group of corners. And it's a chess match there between Mike Zimmer and Sean McVay and Jared Goff. Because what Goff likes to do is he likes to get up on the line, a lot like college teams do. Is what the Rams do is they kind of guess what you're going to do as they come up to the line. Zimmer is really good at disguising coverages and disguising blitzes. The crowd's going to be a big factor. I know I'm going to be as loud as I can, and hopefully everybody else will bring it to throw Jared Goff off, because a lot of the times he gets that communication last minute when they walk up to the line. They do some no huddle. So that's going to be key there. I know Eric Hendricks and Anthony Barr will be focused on Todd Gurley. Gurley is a dual threat. He comes out of the backfield and catches passes. He's their main running back. They don't really have a dominant tight end on this offense. So, while we'll be aware of it, I think this will allow the Vikings to, if the Rams don't involve their tight end as much, it'll allow us to focus in on Gurley more defensively. I think the Vikings would be good to take advantage of Saffold, the guard being kind of banged up there with that ankle. Tom Johnson was moving really well last week. B-Rob can come in on the nickel rush. So I think we'll have some success there. Of course, another key is Linval Joseph creating havoc in the middle, forcing Gurley to have to go laterally. If we can set the edge there, we can shut him down. Those are the keys to a Vikings victory. Read and react. The Rams do a lot of window dressing, a lot of motions and stuff. They run the same, they run several different plays out of the same formation. So they give you, some different motions and stuff like that to try to throw you off. But if you don't react too quickly to it, because that's where they get you, is if you react too quick and you guess wrong. But if you read before you react, you can limit them. And the better defenses like the Seahawks and the Jaguars were able to do that. Were able to shut down the Rams. Was some of the lesser teams like the Cardinals and that stuff. Were not able to. And the Texans weren't able to slow the Rams down too much. But I think the keys in this game definitely be establishing the run. To get Jerick McKinnon and Latavius Murray off to a good start, because that's going to open up play action, for Case Keenum. Case is a guy that moves around well in the pocket. He can escape the rush, which I think, the Rams they might try to do something like that. If we can do that, Case is good at escaping and ad-libbing with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, who are more than capable of getting open against this Rams secondary. So, I think all in all, that's gonna, those will be the keys to the game. Obviously, special teams. Both of these teams have outstanding special teams. Now, you have two of the elite kickers in the league right now, Kai Forbath and Greg Zuerlein. Forbath for the Vikings, Zuerlein for the Rams. These guys have hit all but one field goal each, so they've only missed one field goal apiece. So these are your best kickers in the league here this season, statistically. They have Pharaoh Cooper as their return man, who is a capable guy who does returns punts and kicks, just like Marcus Sherrills is our guy that is returning punts and kicks. They have a solid punter in Hecker. We have a solid punter in Quigley. You never know. It could come down to special teams too. There could be a big play on special teams, a turnover on special teams. But I like the Vikings' chances, to win this game at home. So hopefully, like I said, the crowd will bring it. The Vikings will be on their A game, and we know what's at stake here. So it's definitely going to be, I think, the game of the week, no doubt about it. There's some other good games with the Eagles and Cowboys are matching up this week, which is a big game, but I don't think there's any bigger game, right now than, the Vikings and the Rams, because this, this has the potential to be a playoff preview as well. So really looking forward to it. And just can't wait to get there and be a part of this action again. But I do thank you guys so much for tuning in to another edition of Viking Spin, and we'll leave you guys with a little music here to get hyped up. There's a little Paranoid by Avenged Sevenfold.